Big Safe.
Fat Man Scoop, Brooklyn Clan. What's up, y'all? This is Fat Man Scoop. And right now, you watching the sensei, the #1, the king, my dude, Big Brando. He taught me, personally, me, Fat Man Scoop. All you gotta do is keep your mouth closed and your ears open. Listen to the man talk. That's knowledge personified right there, and I wouldn't trust nobody else but my dude, Big Brando. And I said it. Fat Man Scoop, Big Brando. Let's go.
What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today let's talk about 16x20 heat press versus 15x15 heat press. Which one's better? Now it's a constant question I get asked all the time. I've made a bunch of videos about this same exact topic, but I understand there's a lot of new people that watch my videos and they probably haven't went back and watched all the old videos, so I still want to keep repeating myself when I say this. But the size of heat press does not determine if a press is going to be better, press faster, press hotter. Just because a press is bigger doesn't mean that it's better. The size of heat press only determines the size of your design. That's all it is. So if your design are no bigger than 15 inches, a 15x15 heat press will do you just fine. If your designs are bigger than 15 inches, then you'll need a 16x20. But just because the heat press is bigger in size does not mean that it's a bigger, better heat press. So keep that in mind. Press size only determines your design size. That's all it is. That's the only thing that it affects. For example, my designs never really get bigger than 12, 13 inches across. This right here is maybe a little under 12 inches. This is how it lands. You gotta remember, when a t-shirt is, I'm wearing an extra large. When a t-shirt is worn, it looks different when it's laying flat on the actual table. But when it's actually worn, you got to remember that it wraps around the body and the armpits fall down, right? Naturally, that's how it's being worn. So if this is an extra large t-shirt, this design right here is a little under 12 inches. It looks like it fills up the t-shirt, right? But when the t-shirt's laying flat, it doesn't look like it's taking up a lot of space. Visually knowing how the t-shirt lands on the body is going to help you as a designer. It's going to help you as the t-shirt creator. Because a lot of times we're only looking at what the t-shirt looks like flat, laying on a table, on the ground, on your bed, and you're thinking, oh man, that design looks really, really small because of the way the t-shirt looks when it's spread out flat. But a t-shirt doesn't look flat when it's on the body because it hugs the body. So when somebody's wearing a 3X t-shirt, a lot of people think, all right, I need to make a really big design because it's going on a really big t-shirt. But when the t-shirt is landing on the person's body, chances are if they have a big chest, they also have big arms. When their arms land down this way, the size of the design visually is gonna look the same, like it looks like this on this extra large t-shirt on this extra large body. On the 3X person, their sleeves and their armpits are also gonna hug their body and it's gonna fall in between. When you make a really big design across the body, like let's say you're going a full 15 inches across because you're like, man, this is a 3X t-shirt, I need to do a 15-inch design across. When you do that, that 15 inches is gonna land into the armpits. So imagine the I and the D in this design right here falling inside the armpits, because that's what it's going to look like when it's on the actual body. There's so many people out there that think, all right, 3X, 4X t-shirts, I need to do really, really big designs. That's not how it goes. Give you a small example. There's a lady that hit me up and she was like, hey, I'm going to be doing some 3X t-shirts. I think I'm going to do this size for size small to XXL. And then I'm going to do this size for the 3X shirts on my gang sheet. I say, you really don't need to do that. But if it makes you feel better, go for it. You do whatever you want to do. So she's like, all right, cool. So I said, all right, what's the size of the small to 2X designs? And she was like, well, I'm thinking about 11.5. And then I said, well, what's the size of the 3X designs? And she was like, well, I'm thinking of 12.5. 1 inch is not going to make a big difference visually. 1 inch is not going to, like if you're doing 4 inches bigger, then obviously you're going to see that difference. But if we're talking 1 inch, you don't even need to size up 1 inch bigger. It's not gonna make a difference visually when it's on the body. As the designer, you're gonna know that it's a little bit bigger, but to the customer and to the person wearing it, they're not even gonna know. So I would suggest saving the space on that gang sheet and using that for something else and not wasting any money on sizing up 3X shirts. And then the other thing I asked her was, well, how many 3X t-shirts are you gonna be selling? If your main customer base is 3X, then I understand the thought process. But she said it's just an option and she hasn't sold any 3Xs yet. She's just doing it because she wants to have the option. So I told her, I said, don't waste all that transfer space if you don't even know if you're going to be selling it. Use that same transfer that you're using for size small to 2X. Use that same size on the 3X t-shirts. Don't create a whole new transfer just because you want to create something for the 3X crowd. That same transfer will look good on the 3X crowd, because that 1 inch difference not gonna make a difference. Visually, you won't even be able to tell. When it's on the transfer sheet, you could tell because one's gonna be a little bit longer than the other. But on the t-shirt, nobody's gonna notice a 1 inch difference. So I say all that because I have a 16x20 Signature Pro heat press in my shop now currently. I still have my 15x15, but I wanna show you guys exactly why I got the 16x20. Now, I've had a 16x20 in my shop before. That one went out long time ago. I never replaced it because I couldn't find any presses in stock at the time that it went out. So what I did was I just got another 15x15 to keep things rolling. The reason I kept the 16x20 in my shop previously is because I had customers, especially the motorcycle club guys, they like really big prints on the back, right? Whether you're doing, you know, a soft patch for them and you're printing their patch of their motorcycle club on there, they like the bigger designs. So a lot of my work that I do when I print for other people is for some motorcycle clubs that want the big prints. So that's why I kept the 16x20. Sometimes it gets bigger than 15 inches lengthwise, right? Widthwise, it'll probably go to like 13 sometimes, maybe 14, but that's rare. But then lengthwise, it would go to like 18, 19 inches. So having the bigger press always worked for that stuff. Just recently, I had a really big job come in that's gonna require a full size, I think it was like 12x17 or something like that. I forget the exact size of the print that the 15x15 was lacking a few inches on. This was an 800 piece order. So obviously I could justify buying an $800 press to get the job done because I have this kind of work in-house all the time anyways. Heat Press Nation, in stock, 16x20 Signature Pro heat press. I already have a Signature Pro 15x15, so I already know that this thing is a workhorse and I know the durability I'm getting out of it. So I'm gonna take the camera into the other room and just show you the comparison between the two heat presses and the reason why I added the bigger heat press to the shop. Let's check it out. All right, so here we go. We have 16x20 Signature Pro heat press from Heat Press Nation, and on this side we have the 15x15 Signature Pro heat press. Both of these really good heat presses. Let me show you exactly why I needed the 16x20. All right, here goes my standard 15x15. This transfer right here is 11.5 by 16.5, I believe. This is the regular 15x15. If I wanted to press this on, we're gonna have this much right here hanging off the edge, right? Shout out to the heavy hitter BMX crew. But this is a 15-inch platen. If I'm laying the t-shirt down, we're gonna have all of this right here hanging off the edge. So this is a very big back print right here. It's not gonna fit. So that's where a 16x20 comes into play. Here goes the 16x20 right here. We could lay this down, no problem. Fits on here perfect. Like I said, this is 16x20. This design is 11.5 by 16. Easy call to lay this thing down right here. Now here goes the same exact design that I'm wearing right now. This is 11.5 inches across. Obviously it'll fit onto this 16x20, no problem. Here goes the 15x15. This 11.5 inch transfer fits on here, no problem whatsoever. That's why I've been using the 15x15 for so long, because this thing will do everything that I need it to do. So remember, heat press size only determines the design that you want to press onto the t-shirt. Just because it's a bigger press doesn't mean that it's a better press. All this does is allows you to press a bigger design onto your t-shirt. So like I said, 16x20, this is a big back print right here, 11.5 by 16 or 16.5. This can't be done on the 15x15. Well, it can be done on the 15x15, but you would have to press it in pieces. This right here will allow you to press the whole thing down. Also, I know there's going to be people asking about this Teflon cover right here. You can pick this up from Heat Press Nation yourself. They sell these in 16x20 and 15x15. It's just held on by some elastic. It's a little cover. Pop it on. Easy call. I also have it on this press. No more little refrigerator magnet clips. I got these little covers from Heat Press Nation. Really dope to have. If you wanted to pick one up, check out Heat Press Nation. I think they're just called Teflon covers. I'll try to link it in the description for you. All right, there you have it. 16 by 20, 15 by 15. Which one should you get? All depends on what your design size is. And this doesn't mean like, well, let me just get a 16 by 20 in case I want to do some bigger stuff. Majority of my stuff that I do personally, like for my own shirts, all done on the 15 by 15. The only time I used the 16 by 20, like I said, was for the motorcycle club guys. They wanted their full print on the back. 16 by 20 handles that job. Majority of the time, I keep like really big back prints under 14 inches. That's just personally how I do things and the way I like the way it looks on the t-shirt. I don't like when the print is like huge on the back. When I do back prints, I kind of like them to be within range, like let's say 13 inches across by 14 in length, sometimes 14 and a half, but that's pushing it. That's personally what I like in a t-shirt. That's how I design all my shirts. So I rarely go any bigger. When I do get that request, that's why I have the bigger press. If you have room for a bigger press, by all means go for it. All depends on what your statement of work is. So remember that the size of the press doesn't mean bigger is better. All that means is the bigger the press, the bigger the design you could press onto the t-shirt. That's all it is. If you wanted any more information on the heat presses that I showed in this video, the link is in the description box for you. If you got any questions, leave it in the comments. Hopefully this helps somebody out that was on the fence with, hey, should I get a 16 by 20? Should I get a 15 by 15? Hopefully this answers some questions for you. Follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.